We're starting tonight's edition of India Reports with the massive crisis at Arvind Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi Party just ahead of the Delhi election. Headlines Today has accessed a sting operation video which shows Aam Aadmi Party members purportedly accepting black money contrary to their claims. The sting operation was carried out by a website, and Headlines Today cannot independently verify the authenticity of these videos. They purport to show senior leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party, including Kumar Vishwas and Shazia Ilmi, who is an aspirant to a position of power in a potential future government in Delhi, accepting money without proper due diligence. Here's the report.
The sting operation was carried out on 9 members of AAP, including senior leader Shazia Ilmi, by a website called Media Sarkar. In the first clip, you see Shazia in conversation with a reporter of the website. Sometime into the conversation, the reporter offers to pay 25 lakh rupees as donation to the party on behalf of the company. And when she is told that only 10 lakh will be by check and the rest in cash, Shazia readily agrees to it. If that was an indication Kejriwal's AAP was willing to accept black money, here is another one which shows AAP candidate Manoj willing to settle a money dispute. The sting operation comes just days after Anna Hazare questioned Kejriwal's use of India Against Corruption funds for AAP's campaign. Kejriwal has hit back, saying they are open to any probe.
अगर कोई भी कसूरवार है तो बख्शा नहीं जाएगा, भ्रष्टाचार से कोई समझौता नहीं होगा। अभी तो बहुत आएंगे, इनकी सारों की ये जो मर्जी कर लें, जन समर्थन सैलाब बढ़ता जा रहा है, रोड शो में सैलाब बढ़ता जा रहा है, हमारी सभाओं में सैलाब बढ़ता जा रहा है, जो मर्जी कर लें, लेकिन भ्रष्टाचार से हम समझौता नहीं करेंगे।
But despite the brave face, it is clear that the sting tape just 2 weeks ahead of the elections has sent the party into a tizzy. Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
In fact, Arvind Kejriwal, chief of the Aam Aadmi Party, tweeted a short while ago that he's had a chance to look at these tapes, and he's said that he's open to a probe and that if there is any guilt established, they will not be spared. The guilty will not be spared is the precise phrase that Arvind Kejriwal has used. I want to go across now to Ankit Tyagi, who's been tracking this story really closely since it broke earlier today. Ankit, Arvind Kejriwal saying the guilty will not be spared. What are you hearing about what's going down at the Aam Aadmi Party over what this sting operation purports to have revealed?
Shiv, this is a state of crisis as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. So far, whatever controversy that they have been into, the funds controversy and whatever Anna had said, it was Arvind who was able to take it, and he in fact was able to come out and explain what was their position. But this time, it is 9 candidates from the Aam Aadmi Party, those who are in question as of now, including prominent faces like Shazia Ilmi and Kumar Vishwas. Although Kumar Vishwas is not a candidate as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned.
Yes.
Later in the evening today, there was an meeting that took place at the CP office of the Aam Aadmi Party. In fact, Sanjay Singh and Yogendra Yadav both were there, and they had called all the 9 candidates and people in question so that they can hear what they had to say in their defense. As far as so the party line so far is that they will be they are looking into the matter, and very soon they will come out with a decision whether what sort of an action should be taken if any of these person is found guilty. Kumar Vishwas has said that as far as he's concerned, he's open to any sort of probe by any agency, because he is not taking any illegal money. But the bigger question would be Shazia Ilmi, because she's a prominent candidate and a face, and the way in which she has been brought across in this entire broadcast, that puts a lot of questions on the Aam Aadmi Party, because they have been attacking both the Congress and the BJP.
I just wanted to tell our viewers, Ankit, that we here on India Reports tried to contact several people from the Aam Aadmi Party, including Shazia Ilmi, Kumar Vishwas, Yogendra Yadav, several others. Some of them said that they've already commented on it, some of them refused to pick up their phones, and some of them said that they wouldn't wish to comment on this particular story, though they have made an official response. But Ankit, given that this is a sensitive issue, we're talking about money here, we're talking about propriety, the idea of black money, something that the Aam Aadmi Party has attacked other parties over. This is a surgical strike. This is a very targeted attack on the Aam Aadmi Party.
Absolutely, and it has come at the worst time. It's just 2 weeks before the elections, and Aam Aadmi Party, for the most of their from the time they came into being, and also before that anti-corruption movement, they have been fighting on public perception. And right now, that is the key issue. Arvind Kejriwal knows that if the people start believing that they are also going to do the same of what the Congress and the BJP is going to do, then they will lose all the political capital that they have built up in the last few months. Remember, they have been saying that in the last few months they have been able to capture the imagination of the people. There are people those who are disenchanted by the BJP and the Congress, and they are their vote banks. But if the people still, if they put them in the same category as both the other parties, it will be a very tough time as far as the entire campaign of Aam Aadmi Party is concerned for the upcoming elections.
Open elections, open war here in India. Thanks, Ankit, for getting us those details. We'll try and get more details from the Aam Aadmi Party itself at some point tomorrow. They're expected to hold a press conference to clarify on some of those details purportedly exposed in that sting operation. Moving on to the other big focus story this evening. An editor of a magazine that has done exemplary work in the field of battling crime against women, today stands accused of sexually assaulting a female employee repeatedly. Worse, the organization almost seems to be brushing the shame under the carpet, arguing that Tarun Tejpal of Tehelka has done more than was asked of him. But has he really? Here's the full story that has shaken the Indian media and the nation to its very core.
I'm not a fugitive, Tarun's not a fugitive, this institution's not a fugitive.
This is the reaction of the managing editor of a magazine rocked by the biggest sleaze scandal in recent times. Shoma Chaudhary assured everyone of a fitting response to allegations of sexual assault levelled by a Tehelka journalist against editor-in-chief Tarun Tejpal. In a hair-raising letter to Shoma Chaudhary, the young journalist described how she was assaulted twice on November 7 and November 8 in the course of the magazine's conclave in Goa. Worse, when she resisted his advances and confided in colleagues, he sought to dismiss it as drunken banter, showing complete remorselessness for his act. The magazine sat on the complaint for quite some time, until finally Tejpal himself stepped aside from his post for 6 months, announcing that it was penance for his actions that were born out of a bad lapse of judgment on his part.
With the Tejpal's announcement, Tehelka could not brush the assault under the carpet anymore. What followed was a terse email from the management that Mr. Tejpal would recuse himself from the work for 6 months. But the issue is, can any private institution solve an assault of this grievous nature on its own without informing the competent authorities?
Ma'am, I do not want to walk away from your camera because I am a journalist myself. Please understand. I am in touch with her. Okay. Now you're going to force me. Now you're going to force me to walk away.
There are questions and But the hard questions are, can this case of grave sexual assault be brushed aside as an internal matter of the organization? How can Tarun Tejpal, being the accused, be allowed to decide on his own punishment? And a 6-month so-called penance be enough penalty for the sexual assault perpetrated by Tarun Tejpal on his young employee? With Kartikeya Sharma in New Delhi and camera person Alok Das, this is Aditya Narayanan for Headlines Today.
And like with everything else, politics has entered the debate over the Tarun Tejpal sexual assault controversy. The BJP has been quick to draw parallels with the Snoopgate episode, where two BJP leaders stand accused of stalking a woman in Gujarat.
He might have offered to recuse himself from office, but that doesn't mean the law is going to let Tarun Tejpal get away easily. The Goa Chief Minister has now promised a thorough probe into the charges against Tarun Tejpal. Remember, the alleged assault took place during a Tehelka event in Goa at the beginning of the month.
We have already taken proactive stand. I knew that it is in Goa. We registered a PE. Even we did not wait for the girl to complain.
Meanwhile, politics has started over the entire shameful episode around the Tehelka editor.
The state was approached to give her surveillance protection from a very powerful person, yet her name was being maligned and dragged onto the streets. I have come to know that today in some newspapers they have published the name, they have published the face of the girl, and I would wish that how many of you are going to publish Mr. Tarun Tejpal's ill deeds on the front pages.
मुझे लगता है कि तरुण तेजपाल ने जिस प्रकार से सार्वजनिक रूप से अपनी इस असॉल्ट को स्वीकारा है, उसको देखते हुए काफी नहीं है कि मात्र 6 महीने के लिए अपनी कुर्सी छोड़े, बल्कि जो कानूनी प्रक्रिया है उसके माध्यम से उन्हें कड़ी से कड़ी सजा होनी चाहिए.
In fact, fingers are being raised at the NCW. They have come up with a response that can at best be called wishy-washy. Meanwhile, the Congress's reaction ranged from evading comment to delivering platitudes about investigating the accusation.
बहुत सारी जगह प्राइवेट लोगों ने अपनी सेक्सुअल हैरेसमेंट कमेटी एट वर्क प्लेस नहीं बनाई है. अगर वो बनती थी तो इस तरह से तरुण तेजपाल जी को खुद से रिजाइन देने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती थी. कमेटी उसको पता नहीं, वो लड़की ने उधर की इंटरनल कमेटी है उसके ऊपर आवेदन दिया था, कुछ हुआ नहीं हुआ था.
इसके पूरे तथ्यों की जानकारी लेकर अगर इसके ऊपर कोई प्रतिक्रिया बनती होगी तो जरूर हम वो प्रतिक्रिया आपके समक्ष रखेंगे.
ब्यूरो रिपोर्ट, Headlines Today.
There's breaking news coming in on one of the stories we've been tracking all week that shocked the nation pertaining to the ATM assault of a woman in Bangalore. The police has exclusively shared information with Headlines Today, and they've told us that the attacker, still at large, is most likely from Andhra Pradesh. He is a person who speaks Telugu, and this was a premeditated attack. The police seem to be closing in on the man, and his arrest could be likely at any time. They've also found that the assailant waited outside the ATM after the attack to check if the victim came out or not. They have also discovered that he was in Bangalore till 3 p.m. on the day of the attack and then went to Hindupur in Andhra Pradesh at around 8 the same evening. The police say it was a planned assault with the intention to rob. The woman, remember, is recovering in a hospital with serious head injuries, including a fracture to her skull. Now there's been a big breakthrough. The man, who has not been identified yet, the police believe he is from Andhra Pradesh, speaks Telugu, waited in the city till 8 that evening before fleeing to Hindupur in Andhra Pradesh. Well, even as the police claim to be nearing the accused, the incident has exposed how banks, both private and government-owned, have overlooked security at ATMs, putting the lives and safety of their customers at risk. As banks come under the scanner now, it is now expected that proper security will be put in place so that incidents like this horrific one in Bangalore won't ever happen again.
daring daylight murderous assault in Bangalore has brought into focus the security, or rather the lack of it, at ATMs across the nation. The feeling that this could happen to any one of the lakhs of people who access ATMs daily has truly sunk in.
We'll be going alone during nights for withdrawing money, and we are really scared and we want the security.
Security is near the ATM, who often will be inside the ATM or sleeping inside the ATM or something like that. We want them to be alert about such things and report this to the corresponding bank.
Security must be tightened in towards the ATM counter, because in night after 10 there is no security personnel. We have not seen, only CCTV footage is there.
The security lapse by the concerned is apparent in this case. There was no security guard at the ATM as the bank had taken a policy decision in this regard. The bank says it is revising the guidelines in the light of the attack. The police, now wiser after the incident, have asked all banks to enhance security at ATMs.
Inside and outside of the ATMs, they should install the CCTV cameras. They should appoint a guard, security guard, and also they should install burglar alarms. If these instructions are not followed by the concerned banks, then the transactions will be prohibited.
However, this is not a problem that is limited to Bangalore, as the banks grapple with rising costs and security at ATMs have been gradually withdrawn or scaled down. To add to this, ATMs have sprung up in remote areas and localities that are under-policed. With banks having overlooked security at ATMs, incidents like the one in Bangalore were waiting to happen. But now it is clear that banks can no longer ignore the matter. After all, it is at the ATMs that majority of customers avail banking services. Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
The BJP has been a vocal critic of the Congress and Samajwadi Party for promoting politics of communalism and polarizing voters. But today it seems decided that the same standards don't apply to them. What else explains the felicitation of two BJP MLAs by the party leadership in Uttar Pradesh? Two MLAs who stand accused of inciting communal violence in Muzaffarnagar. By doing so, hasn't the BJP shown that all's fair in the battle for votes?
This was the opening ceremony for Narendra Modi's mega show in Agra. The curtain raiser before the man himself arrived on the big stage. On stage, two party MLAs accused of inciting the communal violence in Muzaffarnagar were hailed as heroes.
मैंने कदाप अपराधी नहीं है, मैं कहाँ अपराधी है? जब उसका निरस्त हो गया तो अपराधी कहाँ? इसे कहना कानूनी अपराधी, कैसे कानूनी अपराधी हो जाएंगे?
Interestingly, soon after the felicitation, both Som and Rana were sent back from the rally venue. The parties made sure that both MLAs do not share stage with Narendra Modi. But BJP sources have told Headlines Today that this was done only for security reasons.
There are some people who see through the politics behind it, but yes, this strategy adopted by BJP seems to be working at the moment, and long-term electoral gains are perceived after they've honored these riot-tainted BJP MLAs.
From rally venue to relief camps, their fault lines were visible.
ठीक है, उसमें कोई आरोपी तो कोर्ट तय करेगा, उन्हें जो भी करेगा। भाजपा ठीक कर रही।
मैं ऐसी सम्मान को विधायकों के दोषी विधायकों के इन सम्मान को कंडम करता हूं और निंदा करता हूं।
For Modi, the two didn't deserve even a mention in the speech.
राज्यों की रचना करके बंटवारा करना।
But for the opposition, the opener was enough to tear into Modi.
वे क्या देश का निर्माण करेंगे जो अपने स्वार्थ के लिए भाई को भाई से लड़ाते हैं, समाज में भेदभाव फैलाते हैं।
क्या भारतीय जनता पार्टी इस देश को ये बताना चाह रही है कि ऐसे व्यक्ति और ऐसी परंपराएं वो पूरे मुल्क में फैलाना चाहते हैं?
मैं समझता हूं कि फासिज्म और कुछ नहीं, यही है फासिज्म।
Both Som and Suresh Rana were jailed in September for their alleged role in the riots after the National Security Act was invoked. Som is accused of passing off video from Afghanistan as one from Uttar Pradesh. Rana was also accused of propagating violence at the Jat Mahapanchayat in Muzaffarnagar. Both leaders were granted bail and the NSA was revoked. But for the BJP, the bail is a clean chit and cares little if by pressing home its political point, it ends up inflaming communal passion yet again. Ritamir Haq in Agra, Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
Time now for Zolo Speed News, the most comprehensive news wrap of the day. 25 today's big stories in just the next 10 minutes.
It's
perhaps the worst scandal to have rocked the Indian media in recent history. News magazine Tehelka's founder and editor-in-chief Tarun Tejpal has stepped down following allegations of sexual assault. The victim, a young journalist, has described how she was assaulted twice on November 7th and 8th in the course of the magazine's conclave in Goa called Think Fest. The scandal and Tehelka's reaction to it has shocked, disappointed and outraged everyone, while Shoma Chaudhary, who has since assumed editorship of Tehelka, has so far said that the incident is an internal matter. Politicians and activists are demanding Tejpal's immediate arrest. Meanwhile, the Goa police, under whose jurisdiction the incident took place, is set to summon Tarun Tejpal to appear before them for questioning in the case. The summons will be sent once paperwork related to taking suo motu action is completed. The decision was taken in a meeting of senior Goa officials at the DGP's office in Panchim. It's politics of polarization at its peak. The BJP felicitated MLAs accused of inciting the Muzaffarnagar riots at a major Modi rally in Agra. BJP MLAs Sangeet Som and Suresh Rana were honoured at the venue. Interestingly, the felicitation was done before Modi arrived, and the party made sure that both the MLAs do not share the stage with their prime ministerial candidate. Narendra Modi has filed his reply to the Election Commission notice over his Honi Panja remark. Modi has defended his statement, saying he made no unverified allegations nor made personal attacks on the Congress leaders. He's claimed that his remarks should be seen as a criticism of policies and programs, past record and the work done by the Congress party. The National Commission for Women has once again changed its stance over probing the snooping scandal involving Narendra Modi. On Wednesday, the NCW had said it would no longer pursue an investigation after receiving a letter from the father of the woman placed under surveillance. On Thursday, the NCW changed its stance and ordered an investigation to ascertain the authenticity of the letter written by the woman's father. Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal has replied to Anna Hazare's letter. Kejriwal has strongly denied allegations of misuse of funds raised from the Lokpal movement for electioneering in Delhi. He's also said that Anna's SIM cards were issued with Anna's full knowledge and funds raised through this were used for sending Lokpal movement related messages only. After Biharis and the people from Uttar Pradesh, MNS chief Raj Thackeray has now trained his guns at Gujaratis living in Maharashtra. Thackeray has said that Gujaratis living in the state did not offer any help at the time of the earthquake in Marathwada, while they went all out when there was an earthquake in Bhuj. Interestingly, the comment was made at an event in Nagpur in the BJP leader Nitin Gadkari's presence. 2 days after the attack on bank manager inside an ATM in Bangalore, the assailant is still at large. 10 teams have been formed to nab the culprit. Teams have been sent to Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu to work on definite leads. Sources have revealed that a cell phone dealer has been questioned in Hindupur. A reward of 1 lakh rupees has been announced for anyone giving information on the culprit. In light of the ATM assault case, the Bangalore police have asked banks in the city to enhance security at all ATMs by Sunday. Banks have been asked to ensure armed guards round the clock and install 2 security cameras, one inside and one outside the ATM. Banks have also been told to install an alarm inside the ATM. Bangalore cops say that if these measures are not put in place by Sunday, they will shut down the ATMs. The Kedarnath shrine may have survived the deluge, but now it's under threat again, and the reason is ghee. The revelation has been made by a team of the Archaeological Survey of India tasked with restoration of the temple. The ghee comes from pilgrims who visit the shrine and apply ghee to the shivling. Over hundreds of years, this practice has resulted in a layer of ghee on the temple walls. This ghee is rotting at most places and is infested with worms. After battling violent fury, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu brace for another cyclonic storm. Cyclone Helen is to make landfall by Friday afternoon. According to the Met Department, it will touch ground with winds up to 120 km per hour. Districts of Nellore, Prakasham, Guntur and Krishna are on high alert, and the government has begun evacuations in these areas. The Supreme Court has restrained Sahara Group chief Subrata Roy from leaving the country. The court has also said that Roy can't sell properties in his name to anyone. The court said that the Sahara chief has not followed its order of handing over title deeds of properties worth 20,000 crore in letter and spirit. The UP police beat and charged Congress workers who were protesting outside the Lucknow Vidhan Sabha against the UP government. The protests were against Akhilesh Yadav and his administration for failing to implement the food security bill in state. A parliamentary standing committee on transport has asked for a report from the Road Transport and Highways Ministry on a string of recent accidents involving Volvo buses. The two accidents involving Volvos in Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka have killed more than 50 people. The committee will investigate what triggered the bus tragedies, whether it was human error or technical glitch behind the mishaps. The Lucknow bench of the Allahabad High Court has banned the film Ram Leela in UP till the words Ram Leela and Ras Leela are removed from the title. The film was released last Friday and has already been dubbed a success, but it's faced several protests and court cases over the use of the words Ram and Leela in the title. Pakistani activist Malala Yousafzai has been awarded the European Union's top human rights award. In her acceptance speech, Malala urged the European Union to help millions of children who are denied formal education. She further said countries should be judged for their literacy and education rather than the size of their armed forces. A powerful explosion has killed 3 people at a restaurant in Kandahar. Medical officials claim to have received 23 wounded victims and 3 dead bodies. All the victims are young people, including a 6-year-old boy. No one took immediate responsibility for the explosion, but the blame is certain to fall on the Taliban. A spokesman for the provincial governor has said it's not immediately clear whether it was a suicide bomber or whether a timed device was used. Media baron Rupert Murdoch and wife Wendy Deng Murdoch have reached a divorce deal to end their 14-year marriage. The terms of the divorce have not been disclosed. It was the third marriage for 82-year-old Murdoch. The divorce won't affect the control of his Murdoch media companies or succession plan. Saina Nehwal's poor run continued this season as she crashed out of the women's single competition of the Hong Kong Super Series. Saina suffered a narrow defeat against Pontip of Thailand in the second round on Thursday. 7-6 Saina lost 17-21, 21-9, 15-21 to Pontip. South Africa won the first T20 of the 2-match series against Pakistan by 4 runs on the Duckworth-Lewis method in Johannesburg. Batting first, the Proteas scored a competitive 153 for 7, courtesy of 43-run knock by opener de Kock. Pakistan was 60 for 2 when rain interrupted play and the match had to be called off. Croatia's World Cup qualification celebrations were marred by apparent pro-Nazi chants by fans and defender Joe Simunik. Video showed Simunik taking a microphone to the pitch after the match and shouting to the fans for the homeland. The fans responded, "Ready." The European and World Football governing bodies have fined the Croatian Football Association several times before because of the behavior of their fans. Kareena Kapoor and Imran Khan are ready to take you on a romantic ride, sprinkled with fun, masti and lots of nach gana. Their latest film, Gori Tere Pyar Mein, hits the screens and the film promises to be light-hearted Bollywood potboiler. The trade pundits are expecting this one to hit the bullseye as the songs of the film are already topping the charts. Locking horns with Kareena Kapoor and Imran Khan is Sunny Deol. Punjab Puttar Sunny Paji is back with an action-packed masala film. Singh Sahab the Great is high on gravity-defying action sequences and high-voltage Sunny Deol-style dialogue bazi. With Singh Sahib the Great, the actor-director Jodi of Sunny and Anil Sharma is back and the industry walas are expecting a Ghadar encore in this one. Bollywood sweetheart Saif Ali Khan and Kareena Kapoor pumped up the love on the sets of the popular dance reality show Nach Paliye. Kareena was on the show to promote her upcoming film Gori Tere Pyar Mein, joined by her co-star Imran Khan. The highlight of the show was when Nawab Saif paid a surprise visit to the sets of the show. Their chemistry certainly sent the shutterbugs in a tizzy.
Now for India's easy victory against the West Indies. India have won the first one-day in Kochi by 6 wickets and taken a 1-0 lead in the 3-match series. West Indies set India a target of 212 to win the match. In reply, India got to 212 in just 35.2 overs. All thanks to Virat Kohli and R. Ashwin, who completely destroyed the Windies.
India got the perfect start to the one-day series in Kochi. Gale misjudged a single of just the second ball of the match and was dismissed without opening his account. Johnson Charles then took centre stage. The opener went on the offensive, sending Dhoni's men on a leather hunt. Suddenly Charles lost his cool and his wicket.
Superb catch.
Left-arm spinner Ravindra Jadeja had him caught and bowled for 42. A few balls later, Raina got Samuel's wicket, shattering his stumps for 24 runs. West Indies needed a partnership, and they got one. Darren Bravo and Lendl Simmons added 65 runs for the fourth wicket before Raina struck again. He trapped Simmons' LBW for 29 runs. Raina continued to push the West Indies back as Deonaraine's heave left the stumps shattered. The visitors got a moment to celebrate Darren Bravo's half-century, but that was all. As the visitors continued to lose wickets, Darren Bravo was out for 59, and soon Captain Dwayne was back with him in the pavilion after scoring 24 runs. The West Indian tail could manage little as visitors' innings folded for 211. Chasing a target of 212 to win the match, India lost Shikhar Dhawan early. Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli then had a century stand to take India close to the target. Rohit was out after scoring 72 runs, but that did not bother the Indian camp. Virat Kohli too fell 14 runs short of his century, but the work was done. Despite a minor hiccup, India coasted to an easy win. Sports Bureau, headlines today.
And joining us live now is Sourav Ganguly, former Team India captain. Dada, good win for India today.
Yeah, it's been a good win for India and I'm not surprised. I don't think West Indies are a good enough side or rather a side which is believing in themselves to win test matches or one-day cricket. So I'm not surprised with what's happened in this one-day series. Yes, it was a track which was conducive for the bowlers, especially the spinners, and no surprise that they've gone past the West Indies bat many a times and created pressure on the West Indies batting.
Virat Kohli in superb form, Dada. His batting does remind you of Viv Richards, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's been terrific actually. He's been a revelation in one-day cricket since the time he's come. He's a match winner. He just bats and bats in one-day cricket. He wins you games. Look at his performance in the series against Australia. Those two games where he won India from no match situation. I think he's a very special player in all formats of the game. His Test cricket will also get better as he keeps playing it because he's got the ability to get runs in Test cricket as well.
And full credit to Rohit Sharma as well. He appears to have really hit a purple patch.
Yes, he is in an absolute purple patch of form. He's making it count every game and that's how it should be. He's making up for lost time. He's been around for a long while. He's got a lot of opportunities, but the last 40-45 days has been fantastic for him. It'll give him the much needed confidence when they start touring abroad in a few days' time.
But do you think, Dada, that West Indies has the potential to bounce back somehow after this?
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be a big surprise for me if the West Indies win from here. I'm actually backing India to win 3-0 from here because the confidence of this West Indies batting lineup is very, very low. I doubt whether Chris Gale will be available for the next two matches with the way he's fallen. There's no Kieran Pollard at number 6 or number 7 to see them through. So I really, really don't see West Indies recovering from this position.
Well, that's really good news for us if the West Indies cannot recover from what happened today. Thanks, Sourav Ganguly, for speaking to us here on India Reports. That's it then on this edition of India Reports. Thanks very much for watching.